Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. Just doing something a little different, and I hope to do something similar more often. I don't know how much of a delay there's going to be, so there's all that. So, welcome back to the community. We have been going through the personal economy series, and we talked about what it is and why it matters. And just in case you don't remember, or you're new and you haven't watched the entire series yet, which, hey, I get it. I'm going to briefly go through that, but if you're on with me right now, let me move this window over so I can see shining faces. There we go. Where did you guys go? There we go. So I can see shining faces. So just, hey, Jinx, just I was going to say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. I really am excited that you guys are here. All right. So just to go over really quickly, we started out this series with why you need your own personal economy and why that is so ding dang important. And some of it is so that you can be independent. You never have to count on anyone else for anything. And that is super important because being dependent on people, well, it's good. It's good to create community together. That's super important. And it's something that I want all of us to do. It's important to be part of community. And while saying that, the importance of community, it's important not to get into a place where you feel stuck, right? We don't want you to feel stuck. And so that's why creating our personal economy is so important. And also, on a different level, when you have your own economy, you're not worried about the outside economy, right? You're not the whims of the stock market or whatever outside force, right? You've not that you've insulated yourself, but you've prepared yourself to be able to make your own way, which then could be a huge part of uplifting the community that you've built around you. So there's so many different parts why it's so important to create your own personal economy. And in doing that, one of the major things that we talked about is having multiple income streams. Again, super important. Who remembers the multiple income streams video? If you do, just, let's see, drop like a laptop thing or something in the comments. And that's whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay. I mean, multiple income streams. I don't know about you, but to me, that was one of the most eye-opening things I've ever done for me, is to make sure that I had multiple income streams. So it's not just coaching. I've now set up where I have my own business back-end platform that people jump on, right? Now, I'm not talking about immediately going out and doing the most everywhere. I think that can actually be pretty damaging because I've tried it before and I know it can be pretty damaging. What I do mean is going out there and establishing one. And then once it's established and it's running, not that you'll never need to tweak it, not that you'll never need to do other things, because you will, it's your business, right? But then you start the next thing, and hopefully it is somewhat adjacent to the first thing, right? And you start building out from there. And then by the time you've built out your income streams, you're going to notice something that you have started one over here, your first one, right? And by the time you get to your fifth, sixth, or seventh one, right? Multiple income streams, not just one or two, right? That looks very different from this first one you started. And it might even be in a different field. And that's okay. All of a sudden now you're actually diversifying, right? Some of those income streams, I actually talked about in the previous series when I talked about wealth rituals, right? Those things that you can do to invest. That can be one of your income streams. All right, I'm not going to get too far afield there. Then we went into reclaiming your creative power over money. Like, you're the director of how money shows up in your life, right? When you decide that how money comes, you have no control over whatsoever, you are ceding control to other people or things. When you reclaim that control, you can actually do something about it, good or bad, right? But at least you tried. And we went over several things in there and how it, when you reclaim creative control, it actually does more to spark your own creativity. So I really encourage you to jump back into that video. And then we went to, like, I think one of my favorites, going from a hobby to an empire. The reason it's one of my favorites is I've seen, and let me know if this was you, because it was definitely me, moving from hobby to empire, moving from like piddling around and trying to be behind the scenes and people not really knowing I'm doing a business because I don't want to deal with the taxes or, you know, all this kind of stuff that keeps you small, to stepping up, putting in those structures so that I could grow, right? So I could grow. And that is so important. That's just like, you know, some people say, putting on your big girl panties. Like, however you need to look at it, stepping into that is a whole different level. You perceive yourself differently. Others start perceiving you differently. And you do things you never thought were imaginable. So I really talk about a lot about moving from hobby to empire, obviously, in that video, but it's super important because so many people just get stuck in hobby mode, which is also kind of in a scattering your energy mode, because things aren't structured, things are kind of haphazard, you don't really know what's going on, you're just doing things as they come up, and as you grow, you end up playing whack-a-mole, right? Or being a firefighter, putting up fires all the time. But I really like the idea of whack-a-mole because it's so much more of what it is. Except instead of having a little mallet, right? Instead of having a little mallet, you're using your head to whack things with. And if you think about that, that's why you don't want to stay in hobby mode, right? One of the bigger reasons, because you just give up. And staying in hobby mode keeps you in hustle mode. And we all know hustle is not where we want to be, right? Hustle is not where we want to be. So the last video I put out prior to today are systems that scale, right? So if we're moving from hobby to empire, we need some good systems to sustain our empire, to build the foundations of our empire. And sometimes we need to do a little bit of housekeeping, right? So keeping those foundations strong, right? Like when you remodel your house, you're kind of updating and make sure the structure's right, nothing's falling apart, right? We want to do all those. We want to have systems that scale and grow with us and will remain robust in our business. So I talked a lot about that, especially because I don't know about you, I've burned out so many times, right? Start and burn out. And I go really deep into that in that video. And that's not just my story. It might be your story too. If it's your story too, go ahead and just put a heart in the comments if that's your story too, that you started and then you kind of burned out and then you had to start over again. And I really go into how to prevent that in that video, right? Which leads us here, right? Where we are now. I thought how beautiful that this video fell on the Capricorn full moon. What is it that we need? Capricorn's a freaking workhorse, right? They love to build empires. And we're at the full moon where we can release some of the, I'm just going to say nonsense that we have believed, that stuff that we thought we had to hold true in order to move forward in our businesses. I want to make sure your business is as lean as it can possibly be. right? And that the systems are there to support you. Lean systems, some automation, maybe a sprinkling of AI, so that you can just be rolling in your genius and that thing that you're bringing forth in your business, right? That's what I really want to see. And if you're down for that, let me know in the comments. Just say, I'm down for it. Like, let me know if you want to make your business as streamlined as possible and make sure that container really serves you. All right. So today we are just going to be about locking it all in, right? No more theory. I've given you so much theory. I've given you theory. I've given you practical. We're going to go for full embodiment now, right? So if you're ready for that full embodiment, go ahead and drop a briefcase emoji into the chat. The little briefcase emoji, drop it in there. I have already have my candle lit. Right, I already got my candle lit. I'm ready to go there. And if you need to, candle, you can grab a crystal if you'd like. Something that you're going to use to help you keep in this energy. Like when you look at it or you pick it up, that this energy comes back. So this is where we create energetic anchors. It can also be, I have a hair tie here. I can put it on. So every time I have this hair tie or I hit like that, the hair tie, it's an energetic anchor. It's a reminder, right? I don't necessarily like hair ties for myself, but I know so many people use this. So whatever it is for you, and I've talked about this so many times throughout my video. Hey, Emil, good to see you. Make sure that you're using these beautiful energetic anchors, right? Grab a journal, get cozy, because it's time for the activation. It's getting hot up in here. I closed myself off from the rest of the house, so it's getting hot up in here. Now, we're going to do a visualization today. We're going to pull some cards today. I want to get questions from you guys. I know that I originally set up today so that I could have several people come on with me to really dive deep into their business. And I'm going to start doing that more often on my live stream. So today wasn't the only time that will happen. There will be other times where you can come on live with me when we talk about your business. If you're in that stage of the business where I'm talking, right? Makes sense? Because I do want to be of service as much as I possibly can. Or if you even want to submit questions, you're like, I'm a little camera shy, Africa. I'm not like you, like, do. I'm a little camera shy. That's okay. You can submit those questions and I'll be sure to take them up and give you the whole scenario. I don't mind doing case studies, right? I want to make sure that this channel really serves all of us women out there, again, just creating our own economies, sharing our gifts with the world, so you never have to rely on anyone else. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I don't know about you. And some people are going to find this maybe a little offensive, so be offended, right? I want to help you reclaim your sovereignty, right? Where your sacred work sustains you, not just spiritually, but financially and emotionally, right? So you never have to depend on anyone. Again, anyone who's making you feel small or unsafe or stuck. I'm tired of that crap because I hear it too often. And so stay on this channel, bring your questions, because I never, ever want to see that again. I don't want it for myself. I don't want it for friends. I don't want it for family. I don't want it for strangers I don't even know. To be in a situation where they're made to feel small, unsafe, or stuck because they don't know how to create their own personal economy. they don't know how to use their gifts to support them spiritually, financially, and emotionally. I'm going back to basics on this channel because I'm tired of that crap. Sorry, I had my little soapbox moment now. I promised you we'd have a visualization. I did promise that, didn't I? But after the visualization and the pull, the card pull, we're going to go into open Q&A. So make sure to have your questions. You can throw your questions into the chat anytime you want to. I will be scrolling back through the chat for questions. All right. Let's get with the visualization. So we're going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to probably share something else a little bit here. I want you to take a really deep breath in. When you're taking that deep breath in, I want you to feel it all the way down. Keep going past the belly button, all the way down. Down through your tailbone. Because we're going to get breath down to that root chakra. So all the way down, baby. I went and I had a, this is TMI, red alert, flag warning, whatever. I had pelvic floor therapy the other day. I did not know what I was in for. I think if I'd known what I was in for, maybe, I can't say I wouldn't have gone because I was going to go, but I would have been more prepared for what they did. So I'm not going to get into all those details. The point of the matter is, when I went in, I realized I do all this deep breathing. And the woman's like, wow, you are so good at breathing deeply. I'm like, yeah, I am. I do this all the time. I help other people do this. But you know what? I would breathe down to about my belly button, maybe just below my belly button. But I wasn't taking that breath all the way down. All the way down my pelvis. All the way down to all of those muscles that hold together all of our organs, whether you're female or male, holding all those organs together. I wasn't taking the breath far enough down really into the root. And all those muscles, like this, seized up. I didn't even realize how much pain I was in and how much they need to relax. So she showed me and had me take that breath all the way down. And let me tell you, I'm warning you ahead of time. Taking that breath all the way down might feel a little painful. And it could be because that area of your body is more seized up than you realized. More need of attention and relaxation. So I am going to encourage you, like, put your hand down as far as you can, like at the very base of your belly, all the way down. Breathe all the way down there. Right? So you ready to take a deep breath with me? We're going to do 3 really deep breaths. You don't have to hold it. You don't want to when we get to the top. I'm going to encourage you to slowly release that breath. So you can really let all those muscles relax and soften. And thank you, Millette, who is out here right now, for teaching me soften. I thought, that's so weird, but I really get it now. Relax and soften. Okay, deep breath in. Again, it might feel a little funny. Please just go with it. Let's do another deep breath in. One more. Right. So now that we're relaxed, I want you to visualize yourself. I love forests. You might like beaches, but visualize yourself being at your most desired location. Place that you would vacation to or live there forever. Like that place that you just feel wonderful and held and cozy. Right? Place where your whole body just sinks in and it's like a giant exhale. Do you see yourself there, relaxing, taking in the scenery, taking in the air, smell that air. The chemicals that get released by nature around you just relax you even more. I want you to connect and feel good in this space, like you're planting roots there. Know that right now you're being taken care of because you've shared your gifts, shared your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience in a way that's supporting you even as you rest right now. There's no worries, no problems. I want you to say this with me. I build smarter, not harder. Yeah, that's wonderful. I want you to see how that feels. You've built a business that is so supportive, so nourishing, not just to your clients, but to you too. Say that one more time. I build smarter, not harder. Awesome. Say this one too. My systems support my magic. Yeah, that's what's happening right now as you're here, just being one with nature. Say it again. My systems support my magic. Take it all in. Nice. As you lay there enjoying this moment, feeling completely relaxed, happy, peaceful. Know this, as you repeat after me, I am the CEO of my wealth. That's right, we're owning it. We're owning our own agency, right? We have agency. We are the creative director, right? I am the CEO of my wealth. Feel that surge of power in you and calmness. Knowing you get to direct your energy, your creative force, any way you want to. Take another really deep breath in, all the way down into the root. Take another deep breath in, all the way to the root. With this next deep breath you're bringing in, I want you to see the notifications chiming in, your bank balance growing, knowing that you're financially supported, knowing that you have a circle of people around you where you are emotionally supported, knowing that you have the space to truly plug into the divine and that your spiritual life is blossoming. Let's take that next deep breath in. Beautiful. I want you to remember, you are the creator. Your economy starts with you, right here, right now. Oh, I enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that visualization? Let me know in the chat. Throw in some hearts, throw in some comments. Did you enjoy that visualization? I almost want to go back in and clip that out so I can re-listen to it too. Oh, it's amazing. I really enjoyed it myself. So I want to, before we pull a card, I'm going to go ahead and pull. I don't know if I set this up to do this. I'm like, did I set it up to do this? I don't know. I'm going to jump in and let's see if I can get to my dashboard. I'm going to pull a card for us. It's a digital card. It's from Sacred and Sassy, which is a collection I pulled together. I'm going to see if it's possible for me to share this part of my screen. I don't know. We're going to see. Share the screen. And we're going to pull this together. And did I click it? Sorry, I've been having mouse issues. And I don't think there's anything that's going to be a privacy issue. So I'm going to click for us as a collective here. That's lovely. So here is our first reading for our collective here on full moon Capricorn, right? During our activation, my bank account grows faster than my plant collection, and I'm thriving in both. I love that. I hope that you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed that, because that was, to me, that was super cool. I love that. Let me get back over to you guys, right? My bank balance grows faster than my plant collection. You have got to love that. Gotta love it. All right. So we're going to keep going. We're going to do this card pull. And I'm really looking at, of course, your questions. I want to get those answered. But right now, we are reclaiming our power, our wealth power, right? We are releasing all the BS that we were taught about having to take care of everyone but us. I don't know about you, but that is something that was well ingrained in me. That I have to take care of everyone else before I can take care of me. Right? And the thing is, if you're not there, how's all that going to get done? Right? If you run yourself ragged into the ground, again, I'm tired. Women feeling small, unsafe, or stuck. All right. Let's see what else the cards have to tell us about this time in our business, in this lunation. All right, so I pulled step out of your comfort zone, the North Node. So definitely be checking, where is your North Node, right? That is going to make you go right on out of your comfort zone, whether you like it or not, right? When you get to that North Node, giving myself a little bit more space there. I love that. So know this, when you look at your natal chart, wherever your North Node is, the opposite obviously is your South Node, where you feel comfortable. The North Node is where you're going to push past your stretching point, right? It's your growth. Where you're supposed to be growing in this lifetime. And once you've mastered that, then you can truly then, mastery, do you master that, you can bring in your South Node to do even more. So now there's more comfort even in that part where you're growing beyond. Right, so I love that, step out of your comfort zone. And maybe that's creating some boundaries, right? I see that so often. Maybe that's creating some boundaries. All right, what else do we have here? Releasing, like I said, the role that you've been assigned, right? Releasing that role you've been assigned. Whether someone assigned it to you or you assigned it to yourself. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and we realized that sometimes people hold things energetically from their parents, grandparents, different ancestors, aunts, uncles, whatever, and we do it almost out of a sense of duty, but it was never yours to begin with. You just decided to take on that role. And just as you chose to take it on, be the creative director. Remember earlier I was saying being the creative director of money in your life. Be the creative director of your damn life. Be the creative director of your life and decide, no, I get to choose what role I play. And I ain't playing that role anymore. I'm not carrying that stuff anymore. I'm not the dumping ground for everything that no one else wants to deal with. Or can't deal with. And by can't, I mean they don't really want to deal with it. Because they've decided they don't have the capacity for that, right? But they decide that you do. Oh, be really aware of that, guys. Really aware of that. Okay, one more card here. Okay, so I got 3 cards. The first one is the Blue Bell Fairy of Gratitude. I love good gratitude. Right? What do you have to be grateful for? Where is the divine really blessed you? Right? And how are you using those blessings? How are you saying, I'm so grateful that you've allowed me to have this, and this is how I'm going to pay it forward. This is how I'm going to share what I do. Right? And then I love the follow-up here, Toadstool, which is all about growth. Right? The thing about toadstools, right, or mushrooms in general, is they have their own information network bathed into the earth. So how are you networking? Right? How are you networking? In what ways are you networking with others like you, sharing their message? I love this is card 44. I just noticed. It's all about, it's foundational to do that networking, to build that network of people like you, wherever you are. Sometimes you get to feel like you're too alone. And so whether you network in person, you network online, whatever you can do to not feel alone. Right? And then we have the Guardians of the Land Protection. Guardians of the Land Protection. Love this. Know that as you move forward, it feels, I don't know about you, but it feels sometimes like maybe I'm a little bit too exposed. Like, okay, I shared some stuff you probably didn't want to know about. But in general, like if I share all my witchy woo-woo-ness, what's going to happen to me? Right? If I share all of who I am, will I survive? Will I be booted out of my community? So the first thing I want to ask you is that really your community if they're going to boot you out for being all of who you are? Is that really your community? You are protected. Protection, yes, for so long was not rocking the boat, being in the in crowd, suffering whatever others wanted to put on you because it protected you from the wild, whatever the wild was, right? Baby, that's no longer true, right? Because what are we here to do? Or what am I putting my foot down on? Going back to basics on. Because I don't ever want you to be somewhere where you're unsafe, where you're made to feel small, where you feel stuck. Because your protection, right? Guardians of land, you are protected. You don't need these other folks trying to protect you. They are not your protection. They're what you think your ego thinks is your protection. I don't want to, I feel like I guess I'm going deep on this or deeper than I intended to, right? It's what your ego thinks is protection. It's what you've been conditioned to believe is protection. So why don't you step out on faith? And I know stepping on faith can be scary as hell because you're stepping out into the unknown, right? You're hitting the unknown. You're going past your boundaries. You're dealing with that north node of growth. And you don't know what's going to happen. And it's scarier still when it's not just you, right? What if it's you and a couple of kids? What if it is just you and you're all alone? You're never alone. You have that community. Remember Toadstool? You have that community that's going to help your growth. And you are protected. I've talked in a couple of videos about ways I was protected that I didn't even realize until much later. And I'm not special in that regard. You're protected too. You are protected too. I'm saying that bad things will never happen to you. No. But when you're out there doing your thing, being fully who you are, you have protection. All right. Let us keep going. I feel a word coming. Why don't you guys pick? This is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I want you guys to pick a number between 1 and 3. Yeah, I'm going to do 3. You pick a number between 1 and 3. You're going to end up with 2 cards, by the way. So just pick a number between 1 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So card number 1, like I said, you're going to get 2 cards. Let me go ahead and get the secondary card. I'm going to do these. Okay. I have to think. I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't know. I never know why I picked the decks I'm going to pick. And I picked a deck I have not used in eons. And so, whoops. 1 and 2. Let's see if card number 3 gets as bossy. Let's see if card 3 gets as bossy. Doesn't feel like it. 3. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so card 1. I love how these things line themselves up, okay? So card number 1 is I share my light with the world. I share my light with the world. And the backup card, like, how are we doing this? With charisma, the Queen of Wands, charisma. You're going to share your light with the world with charisma. Being who you are. Do you see what I mean? Share your light with the world by being who you are, being truly who you are. I love that. All right. If you have questions, know that all of these cards, sometimes I forget to say this, because usually I only remember after I do the first one. All of these cards have something in there for you, because as a collective, it's coming in. With that said, whatever card that you felt the most drawn to, that's something that has a little bit of extra for you. All right, card number 2. I don't dance around the perimeter of the person I want to be. I step in fully and completely. What did I say about all these cards having all of us in a little something extra? Be fully and completely you. Every time. Fully and completely you. All right, the backup card here. 2 of Cups in your relationships. Whatever relationship. You know, I don't know about you, but let me know if this has been you at any time. And we're going to go with grows. So if you want to throw a leaf or a tree in the chat to let me know that you've had this too. When it comes to relationships, honey, I'm like a chameleon. Whoever I am with, I just become the perfect partner for them. And I lose myself completely. I stop being who I truly am. And then I get upset with them because I changed. In almost every single relationship, romantic relationship I've been in, I just become who I think that they want me to be. Right? Let me know if that's been you. I know it's probably not just me. Oh, are you feeling me, Emil? So remember, romantic relationships, partnerships, friendships, whatever, be fully and completely who you are. Be fully and completely who you are. Sharing your life. Okay, card 3. What do you got for us? Yes. Yes. Peace is my pulse. Don't ever let someone steal your peace. Peace is my pulse. When I saw this next card out of the corner of my eye, as I pulled the 2 cards over, I was like, And then it hit me just now, okay? Because it's the 2 of Pentacles reversed balance. I'm like, balance reverse? We're talking about peace? Oh, yeah, honey. Don't let anyone steal your peace. Your peace? Ooh. The scale always tips to your peace. Always. That's what this saying. The scale, it's not balance. It's like, well, I can have as much peace as, and then I have to deal with all this other BS over here. And I have to keep that in balance. No, baby. Your peace always outweighs someone else's nonsense, or even your own nonsense, because I don't know, I do have my own nonsense going sometimes. Your peace is everything. Everything. Prioritize your peace. I don't know, how many other ways can I say that? Prioritize your peace. Yeah. So these are really good cards. I can see, like I said, there's something in there. Whatever card number you picked, especially if you're watching the replay, still let me know. Let me know if you got questions. And if you're watching now, if you have questions about your card, let me know. I can talk more or pull more on that card, and this whole thing is for this entire collective. Shine your light fiercely. Let people enjoy your presence or not. They can always go away if they don't enjoy your presence. Be fully who you are in all of your dealings and prioritize your peace. Fiercely. Prioritize your peace. It'll seem so out of balance to other people. I do not give one fat rat. Right? Prioritize your peace. Oof. 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 I don't know. This reading, this Capricorn full moon reading. Oh. I mean, I know I'm hot right now. I want to turn on the fan so bad. And I'm not going to get up. All right. If you've got questions, please put them in the chat. I want to make sure to answer any questions, especially if you have questions around how to build your personal economies, questions about scaling or systems, anything around energetic alignment in your business success. I really want to answer those questions. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and throw them in there, because chances are I'll just come back and I'll make a video about your question, right? That's what I'll do. Just make sure everything's answered. It is super important to me that I'm able to serve you in a way that works, a way that gets you out of stuck, in a way that gets you to somewhere safe, in a way that your gifts are really supporting you spiritually, financially, and emotionally. No one gets to make you feel small anymore, sweetheart. No. No one gets to make you feel small anymore. Whew, I want you to feel free and peaceful and larger than life. Right? Free, peaceful, and larger than life. We are here to build businesses. We are here to share our gifts. Right? So, and I'm here right now to answer questions, because I want to, if you just have something you want to celebrate, no, I am definitely here to celebrate you and cheer you on. Right? There's so many people making big moves right now, even as the quote unquote economy is bad. There are more people I know starting businesses. I am talking to people right now starting new, brand spanking new businesses. Because yes, the economy is bad for some people, economy is good for some people, and that is always true. Did you hear me? The economy is always bad and good for a certain number of people. Always, no matter whether you hear on TV it's good or it's bad, or recession or stagflation or booming or whatever. It's always good and bad for a certain segment of people. Build your own economy. Build your own economy. If you want me to dive deeper on techniques, or I really want to do a video where I'm going to go through like what I take people through on my intensive. Would you like to peek in on that? Let me know in the comments. If you like to know how I take someone from I have an inkling of an idea to a signature system, their seeds that they're planting in the world. I call it the seed packet. And their magnetic messaging and their launch plan. Let me know if you'd like me to do that in a video for you. Take you through the process. Because hot dog, I love going through that process. I love bringing these things to life, planting those seeds and having them grow. Yeah, there's some pruning along the way, right? Some things we have to pinch off and release. So the whole thing grows stronger and stronger, and you have that stream of income. Yeah, you have that stream of income. All right, final card then. If you have not grabbed Claim Your Cash Crown by now, honey, what are you doing? Grab it. It's there. It's the top thing in the description. Shouldn't even have to like open the description. You could click that link, right? So definitely check out Claim Your Cash Crown. It's going to help you. It's going to like give you a little bit of a start that you might need. There we go. Good shuffle. And then if you want to go a little bit further with me, yeah, you can do a cosmic consultation. Links in that description. My intensive, I don't know if I'm in the description or not. I don't remember. Sometimes I don't remember what I do. But that's a soul strategy intensive. Honey, that thing is gold. It really helps people get on the right track. We use, well, I guess I won't go into all the methodology. I'll leave that for the video that I'm going to do on it. All right. Let's see. What else do we need to know about this Capricorn full moon for our businesses? What else do we need to know? This Capricorn full moon for our businesses. Okay, interesting. I got two cards here that popped out. The first one is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. I love that this is what looks like a merchant with like all of his cups, but then it's reversed. So we're going to go into that right now. There's more learning to do. All right. And then we have the Hanged Man upright. The Hanged Man upright. And I love this for a finishing move, so to speak, because that Nine of Cups reversed. Every time I think of nines, I think of the wisdom that we're learning, right? And there's still some more wisdom here. What do we need to release? The emotional control. I'm hearing this, so hold on. The emotional control we allow others to have over us. The emotional control we're allowing others to have over us. What do I mean by that? Because I'm getting pictures now. What do I mean by that? I don't want to say stop watching TV, news, events. It's important to know what's going on. Limit is probably a better way because it's a form of emotional manipulation. As much as there's people around you who manipulate you emotionally, media is designed to manipulate you emotionally. And when you are emotionally dysregulated, oh, thank you. It makes it difficult for your business to prosper. So it doesn't mean that you become stoic. That is not what I'm saying here. But understand how people push your buttons, and if need be, erect boundaries so they can't push your buttons, or learn how to disconnect that button, right? That might mean that you need to deal with some of your shadow stuff. It might mean that you need to reparent yourself, right? It might mean some deep inner work. And I have to say, entrepreneurship is probably one of the hardest self-help programs ever. It brings up all your stuff, right? When you're emotionally dysregulated, thank you, Nine of Cups. When you're emotionally dysregulated, it becomes difficult to steer the ship of your business, to create the empire that you want, that you see yourself having. When you saw yourself in that place during our visualization, emotional dysregulation makes it difficult for you to sustain that visualization and for you to sustain being there when you get there. Right? So messages, all those things, those buttons being pushed, right? Being pulled in. Sometimes I really get pulled into the news cycle, honey, right? All that really being pulled in so that you spin and spin and spin and can't do anything about it. Locus of control, right? What actually can you control happening? There are some things we can do, but we can't do it alone. It's a collective action, right? So where's that locus of control? What can you do? That will help you get out of emotional dysregulation. Okay? Do the work, the inner work. Figure out what's in the locus of control on the outside, and do things that are within your control. Do things to help the collective, knowing you don't have to shoulder it all alone. But definitely disengage from things until you start to step out of your comfort zone and deal with the button pushing, right? Then you can keep going. All right, the second one. I love it. The Hangman. It's a new perspective. You're gonna start seeing things differently. When you handle this emotional dysregulation, you'll see things different. You see things coming. I call it iceberg spotting. You see the icebergs where they hit the ship? You see the arrows coming. It's like you become Neo from the Matrix, right? You can dodge bullets. You got your clairvoyance all the way up, right? That's the Hanged Man. And that's when whatever's going on in the outside economy really doesn't matter, because you got your personal economy on lock, right? Yes, Emil. Entrepreneurship is deep internal work. Oh my God. Everything comes up. And that's a good thing, because the growth is immense. And the wisdom you get to share along the way, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. All right, my loves, I've so enjoyed being with you today. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Also, like the video. That always helps. Of course, if you're here, I'm hoping you enjoyed it. You like it, so like it. All right, so just a reminder. Go out there. What we're going to do, we're going to build smarter, not harder, right? And we're going to claim our empire. We are going to share our light with the world with so much charisma by just being ourselves. We're going to be fully ourselves. We're not going to tiptoe around who we are. In all things, we are now fully ourselves. And we're going to prioritize our peace. Prioritize our peace. And then in that way, we're going to deal with all the emotional dysregulation, our nervous system dysregulation, see things differently, and build that damn thing, right? All right, with that I say peace, joy, love to you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.